over Mike Masayu. All, first of all, I have to call out the broadcasters of Showtime. That broadcaster was just clearly biased in favor of Masayu. Um, Brandon Figueroa clearly won this fight. I had Brandon Figueroa winning this fight, even without the point deductions, 8 rounds to 4. He was clearly outboxing Masayu, landing better shots. He hurt Masayu throughout the fight. If Masayu wouldn't have been holding throughout the fight, he probably would have got stopped. And for them to try to make it look like this fight was close and it wasn't. And this is the problem with boxing when you see this kind of stuff. Figueroa was clearly winning that fight. And if anybody think that he wasn't, you don't know nothing about boxing. He was imposing his will. Every once in a while, Messiah would have a good rally where he'd land, some good combos, 4 or 5 punch combos. But if you look at Figueroa, he was breaking him down to the body, pressuring him, applying pressure, walking him down, pushing him forward. I mean, good grief. Mark Messiah should have got like 3 points taken away from him. I mean, he was tugging on to Figueroa's arm. He could have caused him to dislocate his shoulder. And I mean, and then he walks out of the ring like this was some kind of robbery or something. Man, I mean, come on, man. Could we stop the cap, please? Could we stop the cap, please? Figueroa clearly won this fight. 8 rounds to 4. 8 rounds to 4. And to just sit up there and watch the broadcast where they was just making it look like Messiah was just dominating the. Come on, man. Just stop it, man. He wasn't dominating in the fight. He wasn't dominating. And I understand what people say about broadcasting and stuff. This is why I don't pay attention to broadcasters. This is why I like to watch these type of fights live. But Figueroa clearly won that fight, man. And he won, and the scorecards indicated it. He won by wide margin. Like I said, you make an argument that Masayu at best, like I said, at best case scenario, he won 4 rounds. Worst case, he won 3. He didn't win that fight, and it wasn't even close. But at the end of the day, we already know that they want to try to, push a certain fighter that look a certain way because they want to find that next guy to fill in the void for Manny Pacquiao so they can have him in the mix of boxers and versatility in boxing. Because we all know for the most part that Mexicans and blacks dominate boxing. So they wanted to make it look like the fight was closer than it really was. Messiah, if he was to fight Brandon Figueroa again, he would get stopped. He would get knocked out. And he almost got knocked out. He almost got knocked out. I mean, he was getting, and you can make an argument a few times in the fight. It should have counted as a knockdown. Just like this is like the stuff, like I said, that bothers people about boxing. Stop trying to push a narrative and call the damn fight fair. Call it right down the middle. Stop trying to have an agenda. Stop trying to have an agenda. Just call it the way it is, man. Figueroa won. He won the fight, and he was winning the fight hands down. Like, what fight was they watching? They was really trying to make it look like, and then Steve Farhood had Messiah ahead on the scorecards before the point deductions. What fight was he watching? I mean, for real, what fight was he watching, man? Are you serious? Are you blind or something? Is Steve Farhood blind or something? Finally, I can give the referees credit. Excuse me. I can get not the referee. Finally, the judges got it right. They got it right. Figueroa won by wide margin. Fight wasn't even, when I say the fight wasn't even close, it wasn't even close. And that's just real talk. Like, I get tired of seeing some of this goofy stuff that go on in boxing. I mean, they was trying to make it look like Messiah was like dominating like the first quarter. I'm like, man, come on, man. I mean, Figueroa was pounding him on the inside throughout the fight. I mean, can we just stop with this foolishness, man? For real. Can we stop with this foolishness? Can we stop like doing this? But nevertheless, Figueroa moves on. Look like he may get a shot at Vargas. Uh Fulton, who knows? He would have to move up. He would have to move up, but nevertheless, like I said, Figueroa clearly won that fight. I gotta say this about Jared Hurd. I feel bad for the brother. At the end of the day, Jared Hurd, he was just out too long. 21 months. He was out pretty much 2 years. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing because this seems to be a pattern with, the fighters being out way too long. Hurd, what can I say? He had his moments, but he did take a beating in that fight. He took a beating in that fight, and I have no problem with the end results, man. Sometimes you just gotta keep it a buck. I mean, Jared Hurd, one of them dudes, like I said, he needs to fight, constantly, at least times a year. And I mean, you pretty much off. I mean, man, you pretty much off for like, I mean, come on, man. You pretty much off for like almost 2 years, or pretty much 2 years. You had fought since 2021. So there you have it, man. And that's unfortunate for Jared Hurd, but there's something else that I hate about Jared Hurd. He still haven't worked on his defense. He just still haven't corrected that. But unfortunately, he suffers 2 back-to-back losses. But nevertheless, I'll be back with more. Appreciate you guys. It's your boy Town Biz. I'm out.